Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to episode 20 of the Prosperous Yogini podcast. And I'm very excited because this is my first minisode. So I think that's the right term in podcasting world. A minisode is a short but sweet podcasting episode. And if you're wondering why me, Amy Jones, who can talk for Britain, is challenging herself to create a podcast episode that's under 10 minutes, is because currently it is October half term and I am on holiday. The kids are off school and I'm on holiday. And today's minisode is I'm talking to you about creating your dream life, getting intentional about how you want to run your business, reverse engineering what it is you're going to create. Yeah, I am not just talking to yoga teachers, by the way. I am talking particularly to every self-employed person, everybody out there in the whole entire world, right, who is currently on a mission, on a journey, on a path to create their own business. Because if you've had the intention to be self-employed, to create your own business, you've done that for several reasons. And one of it is to be your own boss, to create your own way of working. And what so happens is we get stuck in people pleasing, or we get stuck in copying the way someone else has done it, or we get stuck in thinking it should be done a certain way. And we choose to do things that in reality, in the long term, we don't want to do. And so often we end up with a business that we've created a monster. Like, I have been here. I have totally been there where I'm like, I'm working really late at night. I'm like, I don't want to work late at night. Why am I doing this? Or I'm working too much at the weekends. I'm like, why am I doing this? It's your business. So you must get really, really clear on the why. The why, yeah. And of course, as a yoga teacher, I want to share the light that is yoga with the world. I want as many people to be doing yoga as possible. And I achieve that by running my own classes, training yoga teachers, and helping yoga teachers to create sustainable, profitable businesses. Because a happy, thriving yoga teacher is one that is teaching good yoga classes. I say this so much. A stress yoga teacher ain't a good look, right? But I have been there where I have agreed to deliver something a particular way at a certain time. I'm like, actually, in practice, I don't want to do this. I'll give you a great example. For many years, I think for about 10 years, I taught Vinyasa yoga, either online or in person, given the odd pandemic. I taught Vinyasa yoga at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, almost exclusively for 10 years. Now, I started doing this before I had kids. Saturday morning Vinyasa yoga is a great time for an energetic class. Loads of people are up Saturday morning. Let's do some yoga. Let's set the weekend off in a great time. It's a great time to do a Vinyasa yoga class. Pre-kids, it worked really well. I was working 3 days a week as a school teacher, part-time yoga teacher, school 8 on a Saturday morning. It was a great time for me. Then I had my kids, and my kids were young, right? I had babies, toddlers, preschool age children, and Saturday morning was a great time. My husband was at home. I didn't have to pay for childcare on top of going out and teaching a yoga class. Then as things got on, my kids got older. My son right now is 10. He is going to go to secondary school next year. And I totally, about 12 months ago, had this huge feeling that I needed to stop regularly working at the weekend. Like training courses, my foundation training course, when I'm running it, runs for 7-8 mums, 1 weekend a month, right? But I was also teaching a weekly class. And you think, well, it's only an hour class, but it was actually getting in the way. I couldn't take the kids swimming. I had to wait to finish teaching. Everyone was waiting for me to finish teaching. And I'm like, we couldn't go away because I was teaching. And I'm like, I'm missing out. Like, the kids are at school now. Like, when they were young, they were at home. Like Monday to Friday, I was at home with the kids a lot of the time. So going out on Saturday morning to teach yoga was like, oh yeah, this is right for me. Get me out. I want to teach yoga. I want some adult company. But they're now at school. Both my children are at school Monday to Friday. And I had this huge sense of, I'm missing out. I'm losing weekend time with my children, and I don't want this anymore because they're getting older. Give it a few years, my son ain't going to hang out with me anymore. He's going to be a teenager. I might be teaching Saturday morning Vinyasa yoga again, but I had this huge feeling that I didn't want to teach this regularly on a Saturday morning. And for some time, I was like, but I can't stop teaching because I've got these students that have been coming to me for years, and I love them. I see them so much, so frequently. Like, they're part of my family. They're part of my yoga family. So I had this huge sense of letting my students down, people pleasing. Not just that, like, I won't lie, it was a consistent, profitable class. Like, it had morphed into my membership. It was online now, but pre-COVID, I would have a Saturday morning class with 15 to 20 people in it every week. Then I had a membership, can't remember the exact numbers on my membership, it was about 30, a good membership. And I'm like, I'm going to pull the plug on this income stream. I'm going to let some people down, because actually I'm going to stop teaching vinyasa yoga, because there's not another place. I don't have time in the week with my other commitments. I don't want to work in the evenings, other than one evening a week. And I was already teaching yin pregnancy yoga on that evening. And I'm like, actually, I don't want to go out for another evening. I want to see my kids. My kids are hitting an age where weekends and after school is so hard for me to not be there for them, to the point that I resent it. And the minute I feel like this, I know I have to change. And it's so hard. So what I want you to do, if you're starting out, it's actually, do you know what? It doesn't really matter what stage of your business you're at, whether you're a yoga teacher or not, wherever you are right now in your business. So it's quite easy if you're starting out, because you just get really clear. If you come into my mentorship program, the first thing we do, module 1, is we just get really clear. I don't, it's not about building a website or anything like that, not about your offers, your classes or anything like that. It's like, we get really clear. Module 1 of the Prosperous Yogini mentorship program, I get you to get really, really, really clear what it is you want to create. Why? I want to work. I want to be self-employed. I want to have X amount of money, because I want the freedom to be able to pick my kids up from school, to hang out with my kids at after school and weekends, to have enough money to be able to take them on holiday. We live our best lives. That, I want to share yoga with the world, of course, but I want to share yoga with the world and hang out with my kids. So you get really clear and really intentional about how you want to show up for your business, because if you commit to things you don't want to do, you create a monster, right? You end up teaching too much. You end up doing things that you don't want to do. Like, I see very common, I've been there, like with my training programs, like I'm offering loads of one-to-ones. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, there are other ways I can help people. I've just introduced something called Voxer, which is like a walkie-talkie app. I love it. It's like, people ask me a question, I answer their question back. If you're watching on YouTube, I just lift my phone up. If you're not, you're like, what's she doing? But it's a great way to help people without me having to be there at a specific time one-to-one. I made that change to give me more freedom in my business, but continue to help people be effective yoga teachers, build profitable businesses. So I don't care what stage of business you're at, whether you're starting out, whether you're scaling, or whether you're just like at the moment completely overwhelmed and like, actually, I'm not enjoying this. I want you to just stop. Just stop. Okay. And ask yourself, what do I imagine my dream best day to be? It's like, it's Monday. What's happening on this Monday? Like, I want to be able to have my breakfast with the kids, take them to school, French plait my little girl's hair. Great. I actually want to, if there's some surf, I'd love to surf, do a bit of yoga. I want to help people. I want to do a couple of one-to-one calls. I want to do a coaching call. That's what I want to do. Okay. So you have the power. Only you have the power to create what you want to create. And when we create stress, friction, resistance, overwhelm, a feeling of overwork, I hate to say this, because I say this with so much love, and I say it to myself. The only person, if you're self-employed, who's created that is you. So stop, get really intentional about what it is you want to create, how you want to create it, and why. And as you move through your life, that might change, and that's okay. Nothing is fixed, nothing is permanent. All right, my lovelies, that's my first mini-sode. I've just about managed to do it. I think it's under 10 minutes. I will see you all next week with a longer episode, of course, because it's not half term. All right, my darlings, take care.